Done. Alright, it's recording.
Okay.
So, we're doing this all over again. Alright, so when you go to backwash the pool, should I turn it on first? No, I don't care. Okay. First thing you want to do is you're going to shut off the water heater by hitting the pool select button twice. And you're going to shut off the UV light by hitting the straight line one time.
Okay.
So now that that's off, if the chlorine was running, you can shut that off too. Because it's just going to sit in the line, it's not going to do anything. So you can just flip the top to the back. So now that everything is off, except for the system.
So the next thing then would be...
Yeah, so the next thing you do is you open this, only about maybe a quarter. So it lets all the air out of the top. Once the air is out, the water's going to gush down the back, and that's okay. So, yay! Alright, a couple of things. We have valve 1. This blocks the water from coming out when you open the basket. So you're going to close this off whenever you want to clean out this basket. What I normally do is the second basket, I clean it before I open this so that this is open for a very short time period so you don't lose that much water out of the basket. So in theory, that's clean. And what you're going to do is open this up with a mallet.
You just put it back on nice and tight.
Yeah. Go figure. You'll hear the air seeping through it once it's enough. Now this was just cleaned out, so I'm going to pretend. So just slide it back.
We'll clean out the basket.
Take the basket out. Swap with the other. Woo! Yay! Back in it goes. Have fun with all the Band-Aids. Line it back up.
We had the same system 20 years ago. After like really looking.
Yeah. I normally open this up right afterwards because otherwise I'll forget. Alright, so the next thing is to put everything in backwash. So these are your two February water into the pool, 2 for out. So you can close these first. All the way on the last one.
Okay.
Okay. So when you first do that, you hear like a gargling. You want to let that settle first before you do anything else. Just for everyone's knowledge. This controls how much water comes out on the backwash. So if you have too much water coming in here, you can pull back on this in this direction. This also controls the amount of pressure, so like let's say you're getting a lot of sand in the pool, that's why this is constantly throttled back at a halfway. If it's all the way open, there's going to be so much pressure, it's going to knock more of the sand out of the filter into the pool.
Into the pool.
So, keep an eye on that.
So that's the position we really want to keep it in, is like
right in the middle.
right in the middle.
This is all the way open, this is the return isolation. We used to have this kind of closed. But I guess the amount of water going into the tank is okay open. That's what Chip said from Aquatic Services, so I think we're good. Alright. Let's turn it on. So, start. If you don't open that basket, it normally starts right away. If you do open the basket, it takes a little bit of time to prime up again. So this number wants to reach 26 once you're all done. It will go above 30 initially a lot of times, I've noticed, but it will kind of fall back to where the 26 range is. Over here, these two gauges want to be between 20 and 30. If it drops below 20, you definitely have to backwash. If it's above 30, give someone a call because that's a little too high pressure. Actually, if it's too high, probably move the gauge back over there that we just talked about with the amount of water coming in. Yeah. It'll take a minute. Because this is still at 0. So the actual pit itself starts to come through, it's going to trickle. You want to make sure it goes like a full amount coming through. Once it gets there.
Here comes all the
Air. Put its air first, and then it's water.
Where is it leaking? Got it. Okay. Yeah, that was not okay. I'm gonna have you take over. Oh, I have it.
Almost there. And about to go over. Alright, so the water got to the top, and all the air is going to gargle out. Let it continue gargling out before you move the pipes back. You can fill this 2 times. I'm just doing it once because we just backwashed it yesterday. Yay, pumper. While that's gargling, a couple other things. This is for our CO2 tank. Here's our gauge for reading. I can't see it. This yellow thing right here is our gauge for reading how low it is in the tank. Once it gets below a quarter, you can give them a call. Take a note of how often it's actually emptying, because there was a leak in the actual hole before, in the line before. And if there's a leak in the line, you'll drop it. Like we noticed that it was being replaced after 3 months, and then it started getting replaced every month. So there ended up being a hole in the line. The way you can find that out is right here. Take a spritz bottle, like a spray gun, along the line. Anywhere where you see a bubble pop up, that's where your hole is. So once you identify the problem, you can give them a call and say, hey, there's a hole in our line, come replace it. If there's a problem with the tank and nothing wrong with the hole, they'll still replace it. So give them a call. Alright, so now we're going to switch it back. Everything just gets reversed from what it is right now. So the influent lines are going to open and close the backwash lines, which is 5 and 4. These little grits right here, make sure it actually falls into the last one, because it gets very hard to push after the second to last. And that's it. Make sure that you definitely left the number 1 open as well if you forgot to open it earlier. And we're going to turn back on, so the air can get out. It's going to be loud.